Good afternoon, everybody. Dave Cottam here. Just give it a few minutes while the audience builds. Just give it a few minutes whilst the audience builds up. Hello, who's that? Who's first one on? I know there's a couple of people who'll be watching it after on the recording, so that's cool. We're only a small group for this one, so that's good. Who's just come on? Ange, how you going, Ange? We'll just give it a couple more minutes whilst a couple of other people end up jumping on. I think what I'm actually going to do is start to use. We've got a webinar platform. I think I'm going to start to use that. I think it's a little bit better than this. I like the lives, but I think just the couple of minutes waiting for people to build up, I may start using the webinar platform. Hayley, how are you going? So I can't see Hayley on here yet. I just saw the like. Okay, cool. Well, what we'll do, as always, we'll start with a little bit of gratitude. So today, guys, I'm grateful for us being ready to go. I'm grateful for us day one back into the swing of things, back on the Success Breakthrough. I love this program. This is really starting to delve a little bit deeply. Those guys, everyone that's on here was in last month's accelerator, so that's really quite cool. So I know you're all going to be in the same position. You're all going to have your blueprints ready, which is awesome. And we're ready to move forward. I spoke to everyone and everyone's pretty much really fired up for really taking the business forward, so that's cool and nice to see both of you on here, Ange and Hayley. I know you two are like a little dream team, so awesome to have both of you on here. So again, always start, we've got the gratitude, so I'm grateful for this being fired up. I absolutely love this. I'm grateful because I've had a really good weekend of clearing out. I've been on a bit of a cleaning mission the last sort of week, clearing out all the stuff on my to-do list and getting myself a little bit more organised. You know, these things build up over time. So even, I try and be pretty good with it, but I've got some stuff built up. So I've had a good clear through and I'm in good shape. So that's all good. I'm good for that. And I had a really nice weekend over the weekend and went out for a great family dinner last night. Went out with a couple of friends and had some dinner and that was awesome. So fantastic. What about you guys? What are you guys grateful for? Just give it a sec while you type in. Welcome to this, guys. The Success Breakthrough. Again, it's been a little while since I've run this program, so it's cool to be back on the ground with it. What we're going to be doing in this is delving more deeply. This is where we start to sharpen your skills. The previous accelerator really just about getting yourself going, getting that blueprint going, looking at where you at, where you want to go, where your happiness is sat. What you want to be doing for your own life, where your business wants to go, what you want to be doing for your business, getting all those great basics ready for us. And this is really about starting to sharpen those skills and really work on yourself as a person in the sales arena. After this, the next program that I do is a real good accountability program where we have a real solid hustle. The next one's a more intense program. These are really quite relaxed while we learn this stuff. After this, it's a case of, we're going into masterminds and really starting to work together at collaborating and that kind of stuff, which is great, and real accountability and pushing forward. Some of you guys may have never done a blitz, but we're really moving on from this. If you choose to, we'll be looking at a blitz, and that's where we really start to push forward all these great skills and things that we've learned and really apply it and hit hard and really grow our business. So I'm excited. So I guess from just to recap where we are with the accelerator, I'd love for you all to get out your books, have another look at it. Obviously, a few things may have changed with your mindset since the last couple of weeks. So really great to review over those things and kind of figure out if that's still where you are, if there's any little tweaks you need to do ready for this going forward. Because having that blueprint ready, this is where we're at. This is the start of everything. You know, and to really recap what we did in the previous program, you know, we started off and we were looking at where are you? You know, where are you now? I bet for a lot of people that seems like blowing forever ago. They're covering where are you now? And the obvious thing with where are you now is being really, really honest with yourself about what it is that you've been doing, where it is your business is, where it is your happiness is, where it is that what you've been doing with your relationships, with your job, with your career, with all that stuff, and getting really, really honest and starting to build forward. You know, so again, a great thing to look at and go, right, how have things changed since doing that? How's your mindset changed since we last looked at this? You know, I know that Haley, for instance, she did a wonderful testimonial for me. And again, guys, if any of you haven't done a testimonial yet, I'd absolutely love for you to do that, to record a testimonial, post it into the Lifestyle by Laptop page, and if you could upload it to Google Drive and send me the link so that I can download it, that would be amazing. So thank you, Haley, for doing that. That's brilliant. Ange says here that she's grateful for sound advice, great family and good health. I pretty much say thank you for good health every day when I write my gratitude down. So I think it's not only thanking but also requesting good health. So I think a great thing to do. So where are you now? And you can go, where are you with the personal life? Where are you with your career? And what are your goals? You know, and I hope obviously to go and have a little bit of a look at your goals again and really see how they're feeling to you, how you feel like you've started to move towards them. You know, are you starting to be a little bit more considerate of what's going on around you, and if you're more concerned just about your sphere of influence and not so much about all the things that are going on outside your sphere of influence? Have you started to take into account that happiness is by design, and we've got to make sure we're happy where we are now? You know, because for most of us, our situation won't radically change that quickly, so we've got to get that happiness where we are. You know, the majority of people in the world are below the poverty line, and some of the poorest are the most happy, because the majority of things that actually make us unhappy are the things that require all the money. You know, we spend too much time thinking about the money and not enough time thinking about what's important, which is our family. And obviously, what we're looking to do there is really get that plan together, which everyone should have done now, built that great plan. And what we'll do is we'll for everyone to have another review of that, and let's really see if that's how that's feeling to you so far, if you're ready to work forward with that, because this is what we're going to start pushing on with, is that plan. But obviously also remembering to always be really, really patient. Which leads us in again to reviewing what we did with mindset. You know, with mindset, it's just really being sure that we're absolute rock solid in all of our beliefs. You know, and it would be interesting to know, and do let me know in the comments here, guys, how have you been over the last couple of weeks with regards to your mindset? You know, do you now feel like you've got that clear end point? Have you really got solidified what your belief is? Your belief in the product, your belief in the industry, your belief in your company, and overall that belief in yourself, because the blueprint was all about giving you that belief in yourself and making sure that we're ready to push forward. You know, once we've got those beliefs, you know, it really allows us to set that foundation to move forward, gives you that determination. Now again, we've looked at what the reality of our current situations are, but something that's really important, and I know this was something that Haley was getting bogged down with, was feeling bad and kind of a little bit of not quite self-loathing, but you know, that little guy on her shoulder telling her that she should be doing this and she should be doing that. You know, and it's easy to get caught up with those things. You know, so really, really brilliantly to get out and to, you know, to get rid of all those things and get your plan together, build that plan. And now what we're doing, and this is one of the things we discussed in that with regards to mindset, starting to sharpen those skills. You know, and this is the exciting bit, guys. Once you start to look and you're sharpening your skills, when we move in with sales, you know, when we teach you to close, when we talk about presenting, when we give you some homework that's going to start to work on your presentation skills, really, really important. It's good to be able to speak with confidence, with posture, you know, and all these things we're gonna cover during the program. And obviously, you look and go, I speak for an hour and I don't really and arm too much, you know, and that's something to practice. You know, that you can talk constantly without and ahhing, and what that does is it gives you a great solid stance, and it gives you a voice of authority with people. So we look and also talking about with our goals, what are the things that we're wanting to change? You know, again, has that change for you? Are you looking and thinking, right, I've actually identified some other things that I want to change. Now that I've started looking at my happiness a little bit, I've actually just realised there's a couple of other things that I can implement. What are those things that are really going to change your life? Because today, this is, we made the first step last time. This is the next step. This is really moving forward and it's really starting to invest in ourselves. A lot of people will never do that, and obviously I've got to applaud everybody for doing this, because most people won't invest in themselves. Most people will think that they can make it. Most people won't engage other people to help. So you can make a note of that you're up there in the top 10% of people that will actually invest in themselves. And this is so important that you're doing that. You're taking time to do this. It's something to we've got to get that self-belief really fired up, guys, because this week's going to be good. We're going to learn a lot of good stuff. So hopefully you've all also as well got, and make sure going through your blueprint, you've got this. What are you willing to do? What are the things that you're going to do? What are the actions? Are you going out? Are you going to go to markets? Are you going to invite people around to your home? How are you going to be contacting people? What are you called to do? This is going to be important moving forward. It'd be great to see what I really want to see as we move forward in this. I actually want to see all your plans. We'll take a good look at these and see what it is you're actually going to do, because this is what actually build the plan and put this into action. I know a lot of people, they'll come off the accelerator, they'll kind of go, this is what I'm going to do, but it doesn't happen. This is where we're going to start setting it into motion. We're really going to push that forward. So it'd be great if you've written those statements and you wrote those statements about your product. We're going to bring those into action, because this is also going to be about the presentation. What is your statement? And then we're going to get that absolutely fine-tuned. This is going to be a massive part of what we do, getting yourself ready. Because being able to talk and speak about this stuff comfortably is oh so important. Without being able to do that, it really lessens the amount that you can be effective. So all these things, I'm just preparing you to be ready, guys. This is like a welcome today, and before we get to it, your homework tonight is basically to go over all those documents and just make sure that it's right. Read through and really solidify it ready, because there's going to be we're going to move forward with a bit of pace this time. So your plans, again, look through your plans. Make sure they also seem right. You may have looked and have implemented. If you've done a bit of implementation with them, you may want to tweak some of the numbers. You may have, anything may have changed in the last couple of weeks. So again, go back to your plan, make sure they're right. The efficiency tools. Obviously, we went over the efficiency tools. Have you done all of them? Write this down. That's another part of your homework tonight. If you haven't done everything that we did with the efficiency tools, go back, get them looked at. Let's get those on your phone. Do you have Evernote? Do you have Wunderlist? Do you have a Google Drive? Do you have a Gmail account? Do you have Facebook Messenger on your phone? I'm now trying to think what the rest of them are. Have you gone out yet, and have you ordered yourself an external battery? All these things are really important. Have you got an external battery as yet? A lot of people don't. If you can have one, do you have a fast charger? All these things really, really important for us, because they're for me, they're the bread and butter of our business. You can do without virtually everything. There's only a few simple things that you need, and definitely if you didn't install Evernote, you didn't use the homework and use my link and register yourself an Evernote account, make sure you do that. Again, if you use the link in my thing, I get like a free month. I don't know what they give me. They give you some points. But, either way, make sure you get it, because Evernote, if you haven't started using it, is absolutely gold. Obviously, we did a big piece on dream clients. This should hopefully really melt through your mind by now. Who is your dream client? I know making my and weirdly enough, they generally don't look like me. Usually it's you. Usually it's someone who's just like you. I know for me, the people who are like our target audience usually we're 35. They're generally the people who are my target audience. But that's something I'm really working towards, is to really start to get into more the people who are like me, because the majority of people in my business are all people that are, that, like I say, 35 and over. But really great for you to know who it is that you identify with. So again, we'll start to build up on that, because this is what we're going to be doing. We didn't really do too much on list building last time, but this is what we're really going to go into, is really get ready to start making some calls and push out the message to people and really hit the ground. Again, getting ourselves readily prepared for really having a good push at things. You know, I know Hayley, you definitely won't have. And have you done anything like a blitz before? Have you ever done a sustained period of really focused on recruiting and pushing your business? You can't do it for too long. I've got 6 months of blitz and it nearly killed me. So I've the last couple of weeks kind of just tried to take things a little bit easy before I turned into dust. But I'm ready to go again now. I'm feeling refreshed. So yeah, really getting out there and knowing your audience is perfect. And what we're going to consider and start moving towards more now is our social media presence. So that's something that we're really going to be focusing on during this program, is helping you to build that up. And that takes time. It is by no means a quick job. You know, it could be years worth of work on your social media if you don't chuck a load of money at advertising. But bit by bit, you know, we'll come up with something awesome. And if you can do something that aligns with your dream client and aligns with what you're going to do as your repeatable process using social media, that can literally explode for you. And an important bit, guys, if you didn't do it last time, I'd really like to make sure that you've all done a bit of a combination of 5 people that you'd like to be known like, and what their characteristics are, what the characteristics are of people that you'd like to be known like, that you'd like to be classed as being similar to them. And we'll really start to work on those habits, because this is going to be a part of what we do, is you know, working on ourselves as people. Let me make a note of something while I was talking. Okay, awesome. If I don't make notes about things immediately, it's gone. So that's it. So then we will be list building, guys. This is something we're really going to work on, is building that list and getting out. Again, someone like yourself, Hayley, that's quite new. You've got this great ability at the moment to really get out there, because a lot of people won't know what you're doing. So it's great, before people really know about what you're doing, if you haven't done a big push yet, to use that list and blitz it out there, because it's amazing how much of a difference it can make when you do it off the bat, as opposed to, you know, when you've been around for a couple of months. So we'll really get back into that list. So if you've got your list, make sure you've got it handy, because we'll be working on that for the next couple of days. And again, you know, something that I can't do for you guys is that hustle. You know, and the hustle is literally, this is where we've got to really be disciplined. Obviously, we've got our plan. As part of our plan, we've got our week mapped out. Again, have you all got your weeks mapped out, and have you been sticking to it? If you've not been sticking to it, I'd love for all of you to look at it now and figure out why you've not stuck to it, and does it need changing, or do you need changing? You know, is the plan not quite right, or are you just not being disciplined? Because if you've not been disciplined, it's really important. And what we're going to do in this group, we're going to come in and we're going to have some accountability buddies. You know, really, really important that you're disciplined with your daily actions. Because without that, you know, you're literally going to go nowhere. And again, keep it simple. We covered keeping it simple. Probably not too much to recount on this with regards to keeping it simple, but you know, again, just the things that we covered. You know, we're just being you. You know, just be you, be yourself. You're your biggest asset. You know, sharing the vision. The company's got an amazing vision. You've got your vision, and all you've got to do is share it with people. Let people know what it is that you're wanting to do. Sell them into your vision. Let them paint it in their own mind, and they'll decide whether they resonate with it or not. You know, but keeping it short, keeping it sweet, and using the tools. Being yourself, using normal language, but telling stories. You know, such an important thing, guys, to make sure you're telling stories. Have you started to share people's stories? Have you learned people's testimonials? Have you been looking at listening to reviews and speaking to other people? You know, do you know what's going on in business so that you can tell those stories to other people? Do you know all about products so that you can talk about them to people? Because that's what really engages people. You know, letting people know what's in it for me. Those little bite-sized chunks, as we said, you know, giving people bite-sized chunks, really engage them. It's so important that we do them. You know, we do that, and that ties into not telling you much, telling you just enough to either to pique their interest, give them a presentation and pass them on to somebody else. You know, it really should be small bit of information, watch this, speak to them. You know, and that's so important. As we say all along, you know, 90% of your training is in the way in which you're introduced. You know, so if you've been introduced by somebody and they follow a real simple process, that's going to be easy for you to duplicate, and the duplication is going to be something that'll be massive in this program. You're really starting to help you to build up that duplication, because that's the hardest bit. If you can't duplicate, your team will never really grow. It'll only be just based on your efforts. And the big thing about MLM is being able to leverage the time of other people. Get a simple process, repeat it, and hopefully you'll all have that down now. So again, to recap, with part of what I want you to look at tonight is to review that of your elevator pitch. Go back over your elevator pitch. That's been in there for a weekish. And sit down, say it a few times, and see if it really rolls off the tongue. See how it feels. You know, get down that elevator pitch. Write down your story. I know, hopefully you've all done it in your blueprint. Go back over it. Just keep going through it. See how it feels. You know, you may want to add some stuff to it. Oh, someone's just popped in. Who's just arrived? You know, writing down your story and you know, thinking about the conversation that you're going to have. Oh, Dan. Hey, Dan. You know, thinking about that conversation you're going to have when you speak to somebody. You know, making sure that as you're talking to them, you've got some idea of what the responses will be. Because, you know, an expensive way of learning is by experience. You know, and if you just wait until someone says something to you that you're then trying to think of a response, or, you know, you've got to go and ask someone a question. If you've thought of some of these responses already based on the conversation that you know you'll have, it'll just allow you to be prepared. You know, it's like preparing for a job interview. You're preparing to go out and prospect and hustle. If you thought some of this stuff up front, you're less likely to feel, you know, that something will shake you during the process of making a sale. So really important you have a think about some of those responses, same as you would do for a job interview. You know, when I've gone for job interviews, before I think of what questions they'll ask me based on what I'm saying and how they'll question about each thing that I say. And that way you're prepared. You know, you've kind of, you know your facts. And the final thing that we covered was about the process. You know, and it's really, really simple. You know, and hopefully you've been implementing some of this stuff that it's all about your pipeline. You've got to keep that pipeline full. You've got to keep putting people in. You know, some will call it a funnel. You've got to keep putting people in the funnel. You know, if you've got your funnel like a funnel that you use to fill your car up or whatever, you've got to be putting people in. Because as you go along, you know, the people in the funnel, they evaporate away and they don't all make it to the bottom. They don't all come out. So really important that what we've got to be doing is filling that funnel, filling that pipeline, so that you're not going to run out of people to speak to. Because there's nothing worse than when you get to the point of wanting to keep moving forward and you've got no one else to speak to. So really important, guys, that we keep doing that. We keep pushing forward. Lead from the front. You know, we've got to be there. In order to be a good leader, you've got to be out there recruiting. And part of our process is trying to be quick. Success loves speed. Trying to move people through as quickly as possible. Trying to help people duplicate. You know, the more that we duplicate, the quicker it goes. You know, even if people aren't building massive teams immediately, if you can just help people to keep duplicating with a couple of people, that's how you build an amazing team with real good strength. You know, using tools, duplicating, letting everybody do the same thing, and really having leaders support such amazing things, and it really will make a difference. And a lot of people, they focus too big. They focus on trying to get 10 people in or whatever the first rank is and all this kind of stuff. And realistically, if you can help everybody to get two advocates or 2 reps or 2 distributors, whatever you call, and a couple of customers, and you can help everybody to do that, then you'll have a fantastic business. And that's all about the process, you know, really focusing. Get someone in, help them to duplicate, find someone new. Get someone in, help them to duplicate, find someone new, and that's the process. You know, doing that, using your upline, following up, working as a team, and just making sure that there's someone that can close people for you, because that's such an important part. You know, those 3-way calls and that there's somebody that can close. You know, so important. So if you haven't as yet identified somebody in your team that you can call for three-way calls, that you trust to represent you with authenticity, make sure you do that ASAP. You need someone that can handle calls and that can close for you. Really, really important. So that's basically it for tonight, guys. It was just a welcome. Give us a great recap on our blueprint. Start to get your brain churning. I know I've pumped loads of basically, a flash of all of what we did in the accelerator. I've just dumped that on you. So I guess really what it's about tonight is to go away and please review everything that you did in the blueprint. Check over everything. Make sure you got your elevator pitch about what you do, how you're changing people's lives. Not so much about your business, more about what you do for people. The questions, if you're having a conversation, what people might ask you. Looking at what you would do, what your goals are. Where you are now. Where's your happiness? Your health, wealth, happiness, spirituality, relationships, your business or career, personal growth, the activity that you're currently taking, how much action you think you're taking, and what your fun is in your life. Get all of them noted down. Your 1 to 10 on that kind of stuff. Start to make sure you're doing that. If you stop journaling, get back to journaling. But I say, guys, I really want you to just go over all of your documents from last time from the blueprint. Really get them really get them re-infused into you with your why, with where you're at, with what you want to achieve. Look at your goals. Look at your plan. Check that your plan for your week, that it's looking okay. And if there's anything that doesn't feel right, if there's anything that needs changing, if you've not been working to your plan and you think you need to change something, let's get all of that done because we really want to push forward with this. We've got some great stuff to go over the next couple of days. Really sharpen those skills up, but let's get yourself really revved up, get that fire lit under you, get that beliefs really hardened in for yourself and the industry and all that kind of stuff. And let's really let's really push forward. Haley quoted me today. What did Haley quote me with? I was interested to see that I'm being quoted. And has anyone got any questions before I go? I hate how behind Facebook always is. It's rubbish. Awesome. Right, well that's it then, guys. I'm out. If no one's got any questions or anything else, that's awesome. I will go. But again, wonderful to have you on. Welcome back. This next 2 weeks is going to be fun. Thanks to you guys for coming on live, Diane, Ange and Haley. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And again, guys, if you revisit goals and get back to hustling, awesome. Any of the guys that are watching the recording, please say hello, let us know, and review all the stuff for the homework, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye for now.